Something to Offer, the show that goes to the heart of people living their dreams, and we'll meet them in just a moment. I'm really excited today to bring you a sort of special something to offer. It's a little bit of a something to offer from the west coast of the United States and a little bit of the northwest and the northwest part of Canada. So near the end of the summer, I got to take a little vacation to visit friends, family, and I also wanted to do something new and different and abroad. And I had heard about Banff, Canada, from a college professor I had years ago who remained a friend, and I've interviewed her on my show. Who knows, might even put a little photo up of her, Thelma McDaniel, and she had always talked about how beautiful it was. So I went out to California to see some friends and family, and then I took a trip from the LA area to Calgary, and then I took, and a friend met me from Michigan that I know from a long time ago as well, and we spent about 3 days Calgary, took a day trip to Banff. So I'm not really going to be showing anything from California, and but I will be sharing a bit of Calgary and the Banff experience. We had an amazing guided tour, 10-hour tour with a very interesting tour guide, and then I'm going to share a little bit from the Oregon coast. I went to Portland, and then we went to the Oregon coast to Seaside, the beach there, and it was really beautiful, and I got to spend time with some of my family members. Further ado, I'm going to start showing you clips. I did all the shooting off my phone. Some is very great, some is pretty steady, some is a little experimental, and I will say that it was really a wonderful time, and Calgary is a very interesting city, so you'll see a little bit of things from Calgary, the Bow River, and Banff, and Lake Louise, and a lake that maybe you'll hear in the video, I sometimes called it the wrong name. It's Lake Morin, but I kept calling it Lake Marin, and I think it's because I have a great niece named Marin, but it's Lake Morin. And beautiful, and just a lovely, lovely time. Enjoy. Hi, Anne-Marie Offer here, something to offer. I'm in Calgary, Canada, and I'm in the Chinatown part of Calgary. It's going to be a little something to offer from my travels in Canada, and I'm starting on August 27th. I'm doing a little walk around in downtown Calgary. So this is Chinatown. So right where I was standing, I looked across the street, and there's this amazing mural you can see in Chinatown. It's beautiful. And there is also another one on the corner. As you saw, my street here, it's got a lot of beautiful decorations, and I'm going to come around the corner. Got all kinds of trees with little lanterns in them, and there's another one of these murals that we'll get up a little more close to. Here we go now. Beautiful, beautiful art. Still in Chinatown. I'm walking by a parking lot in Chinatown. I'm going to walk down slowly. Again, it might be a little rough, folks. I'm trying to steady cam it, but I'm walking in a parking lot, and this is a mosaic of a Chinese dragon, I believe, with also a little robot in the middle of it. Goes all the way back to a little house or pagoda. And this is the Chinese Cultural Center, Calgary Chinese Cultural Center. I'm going to try to go inside for a couple minutes. I'm in the Calgary Chinese Culture Center. So I'm going to just get a little bit of the beautiful ceiling and the pillars. It's really beautiful. I'll try to walk around it a little bit. Got a dragon head, which is so nice. This is a bridal sedan, and in China, you couldn't inter-clan marry, but some did want to keep that practice up, you know. And so they built sedans and like would transport the groom or the bride like in a sedan, you know, all covered up so nobody knew what was going on. And that's how they continued to have some inter-clan marriages. And this sedan was actually built in 2018 as a kind of a memory of, you know, Chinese culture for a wedding of a bride and groom in Calgary, and he donated it to the museum. Now I am going down to the museum. Just a little peek at the museum, and I'll try. This is an amazing tapestry in the Chinese museum. It's depicting centuries of Chinese civilization and development. I'm going to have to go up and down on it. And I'll back up. This is a sculpture I'm going to walk along as carefully as I can. I will go to the front so you can see it. I'm on the Bow River Bridge, or one of the bridges across the Bow River in Calgary, kind of near Chinatown. And eventually I'll be going on this river walk that you see people, I should slow down my walking, see people biking and walking. And this is Calgary, but I want to cross the bridge. Okay, I'll come back in a minute and show you the river. I think this is Rotary Park I'm coming up to. I gotta take all these stairs, and I might get to a place called McDuff Bluff. Take pictures. See you in a minute. Hey, it's Anne-Marie here. I just crossed the Bow River at Center Street Bridge, and I'm on the other side of the Bow River in Calgary. And you can see, there is the Bow River from where I was a second ago. Still Calgary, but it's across the bridge. Get a little bit of skyline, whole city. by the Bow River, and there's like, it's beautiful. You see it flowing, gorgeous. And I don't think between the trees where I am right now you can see there's like a camp of people, but I just went to a little opening. I thought, let me walk closer to the thing. And I can't get right on top of it. Here's a tie, just going down this steep hill, and then heads up, and then see if I can do it. I'll try to zoom in. It's like a white dress and a suit. Now, I don't want to say anything, but either some people got busy, or maybe they got married and they just took a big matrimonial or some kind of a swim. Don't ask me. Hey, Amory here. I just crossed another bridge and I'm on St. Patrick's Island, which is in between certain parts of Calgary. I was trying to take a picture from another point, but a scooter guy fell and hurt himself. So anyway, this is part of the island of St. Patrick's Island, and behind me on this side is going to be, there's water and pondy stuff. I'm on my bus tour to Banff. My driver Jared, there he is. There's my friend Pat. She doesn't probably really want to be on camera, but this is our trip. Kind of a foggy, rainy day, and we might see some snow. Talk to you later. Bye.
Wow. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, so after the overpasses and underpasses were built, it didn't take too long for the animals to learn to use them. However, one unintended consequence was that the predators learned that very quickly as well. So sometimes if you're very lucky, you see herd animals using one of the overpasses, you can actually see a bear or a cougar, or sometimes there are wolves as well. You'll see a wolf pack waiting on the other side of the overpass for dinner to be delivered to them. Probably Lake Louise usually sits around like 40 degrees ish, and then Moraine usually sits around probably about 36.
I'm here at Lake Louise. There it is, beautiful Lake Louise. Enjoy my walk. I'm walking this way. I'm going to turn it off. There's all the Canadian mountains all around me. Amazing. Well, a little bit of video. A little bit more of Lake Louise. I look back toward this big villa. I don't think it's totally under finished constructing. Look at these mountains. It's Lake Louise, folks. Canada. In August. This is water flowing down a mountain at Lake Louise. Go up a little bit, see if I can catch more of it. Such a beautiful sound. It's flowing over the rocks. And if I just turn my way from the path over this way, you hit beautiful, the whole mountains of Lake Louise, and that water's coming down from some of them. Back, going around, back to the water. The nice, relaxing Lake Louise water. And the glaciers. Lake Louise.
riding up to Lake Marin. I just love this flowing water, and this is more the log jam from a distance, and now you can see Lake Marin. Look at those mountains. And it's all the way, the colors of these lakes is because of how the ice melts, and when it drags down different minerals and stones, and it turns into like flour. That's what our guide told us, like a mineral flour or a rock bed flour. And when it hits the water, however the light is, it reflects that way, and the components of it change, have the colors be different in every lake. Okay. Climbed up high to see Lake Marin. Up high, there's all these rocks around, all these people. I won't take them because they don't want to be. I'm going to try to switch the camera around. Lake Marin. Look at these mountains, everybody. Something to offer in the Canadian Rockies. Look, people are out in places they're not supposed to be, but that's okay. I'm not going any higher, folks. The steps are really wild. So this is the new guest for something to offer. He's a big bear, and he's got not much to say because he's been taxidermied or made up from like that Bears Are Us or whatever that place is. So
Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear, thank you. So I hope your life out here in the mountains in Canada. He says high five. Here I am, I'm standing in the middle of the road in Banff, and they say you're not going to be able to do this anymore. I already took some footage. So, in Banff, middle of the road, pedestrian road, they're taking the pedestrian road away. Cute little town. We're now in Banff, the little town. Looks kind of Germanic. Standing in the middle of the road, they say that this pedestrian roadway is going to be taken away. So when people come after this, if you see this and go to Banff, you will not be able to do this. Stand in the middle of the road like I am.
can say they get used to this. Like, this would never get old.
No, never. No.
So right now we're looking over there on the right-hand side. One of the mountains is different than all the rest, and that is Mount Rundle. So as I mentioned this morning, it's tectonic plate action that is causing the Rockies to continue to grow, and that is no exception, except it was a different type of tectonic action. So that was formed through something called a slip fault, or a thrust fault. So if you can imagine an unstoppable force running into an immovable object, two plates touched and hit and kept pushing and pushing against each other until one of them finally gave out. One of them slid down, the other one slid up, and it pushed Mount Rundle. It used to be flat on the ground, and it forced it right up on the angle it sits at now. And it happened during a very sudden and violent geological event. So that would have been a hell of a show to see.
Hell yeah.
The other thing about Mount Rundle and mountain towns around here in general is a lot of them like to have what I call mountain mascots. So they have one mountain that usually stands out from the rest around it, and that they sort of take that as their crest. And so the mountain mascot for the town of Jasper is Pyramid Mountain. Canmore has the Three Sisters, which hopefully we can see on the way back. And then Mount Rundle there is the mountain mascot of the town of Banff. It is just under 3,000 meters high, coming in at 2,948.
Wow.
Top one's basically obscured in the clouds. So those were named, first of all, in 1886 by the nephew of a legendary CPR surveyor named Major Rogers, and his nephew was a Catholic. So the original name for them was actually the Three Nuns, because he thought that they looked like nuns wearing their habits when they had snow on. So that name stuck around for about 2 years until the official map maker came through town to do his job. He was a Protestant. He did not take kindly to mountains being named after something in the Catholic faith. So he renamed them the Three Sisters, and since he was the map maker, it's his name that stuck in the end.
Right.
And that's why they're known as the Three Sisters today. He did, however, come to a little bit of a compromise. I'm not sure why, or if he just appreciated it, but he kept the original names of the individual peaks, and they are named after the three virtues of hope, faith, and charity.
Oh.
They look absolutely gorgeous today, covered in snow, don't you, ladies?
Yes. Hey, Emery here again, and I am now not in Calgary. I am now in Oregon, and I am by the Oregon coast. And I'm visiting my brother in the Portland area, Lake Oswego, but we are now down at Seaside, and I'm going to turn a little bit so hopefully you can see that sticks out into the water. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's a little chilly. I mean, I'm a little chillier than other people, but it's lovely. It's Labor Day weekend. And yeah, and then there's people, well, you can't see them. I'm turning around, but this is the whole back here. There's a little plaza. Anyway, Oregon's beautiful. This guy in the boardwalk on Seaside, I'm getting just a smidge of him. He's using recorded music, and he is drumming a little bit. It's kind of really beautiful. It's kind of near that plaza I was just in. I was on the boardwalk over there, walked way far from you can't even see my hotel, it's way down there. And I'm walking over the brush, which I'm showing you right now. And this is the Oregon coast we're coming up to. This is the Pacific Ocean, ladies and gentlemen. And it's very different I think, than the Atlantic. Look, this juts out. The land juts out over there. It's beautiful on this September 1st day. Okie dokie. See the sand path. There is the ocean. And it used to be very stony, but I guess from the Columbia River and feeds into the ocean and different things like that, and they got much more sand now. I should do that again. It's like a skateboard, not a surfboard. It's a wave board. Here he goes. Woo! It's reverse. It's like reverse skate. It's like being on a skateboard. Skateboard, surfboard, mini for the feet. Just coming upon some sand creations. Try to be as steady as I can. Just bear in mind I got shoes in my hands, shells, sand dollars. There's like all these castles and moats and interesting things. People must have got out early this morning and did this. Here we go. And I will have a picture of something that was done yesterday of like a general from the military. Pretty cool. Again, taking a big up Oregon coast, see it all.